I never imagined my life would unravel like a dusty old Western tale, full of hidden canyons and sudden storms. My name is Emily Hayes, and I grew up in the wide-open spaces of Wyoming, where the wind whispers secrets through the sagebrush and folks still value a handshake over a contract. But ambition pulled me west to the glittering sprawl of Silicon Valley, California, where I built my career at Horizon Tech, a rising star in renewable energy startups. That's where I met Jack Harlan, heir to the Harlan Energy Empire, a family that struck it rich in oil back in Texas, but pivoted to green tech to stay ahead of the curve.
We fell hard and fast.
Like a summer thunderstorm over the Sierras. Our engagement happened under a canopy of stars at his family's ranch in the Napa Valley foothills, a sprawling estate with vineyards stretching to the horizon and a main house that blended rustic charm with modern luxury. Jack got down on one knee, slipping a vintage sapphire ring onto my finger, said to be his grandmother's. Resized just for me. Emily, you're my fresh start, he whispered, his eyes shining with what I thought was pure love. 6 months later, we were deep into wedding plans, 250 guests, a ceremony at the ranch, and a reception under twinkling lights in the barn. But then came that fateful night in our San Francisco loft, overlooking the bay, where fog rolled in like an uninvited guest. Jack paced the polished hardwood floors. His boots, always those damn cowboy boots, even in the city, thudding softly. The city lights twinkled outside, but inside, tension crackled like dry lightning. We need to call it off, he said, his voice low and steady, like he was negotiating a business deal. The wedding. Unless you quit Horizon and focus on being my wife. The proper way. I stared at him, my heart pounding. This wasn't the Jack who'd supported my late nights at the office, who'd bragged about my innovations in solar tech to his investor friends. What are you talking about?
We've talked about this.
My career isn't negotiable. He stopped, running a hand through his sun-bleached hair, his face shadowed by the lamp. It's not about your job. It's about us. The Harlan name comes with expectations. My folks. They see you as a distraction. And honestly, so do I now. His words hit like a gut punch. I'd clawed my way from a small-town girl, daughter of a ranch hand and a schoolteacher, through scholarships at UC Berkeley, to a senior engineer at Horizon. Jack's family had open doors, introductions to venture capitalists, invites to exclusive galas, but I'd earned my place. This is crazy.
Jack.
You're asking me to give up everything I've built. He leaned in, his cologne mixing with the faint scent of leather from his jacket. I'm trying to protect you.
Eminencia.
Walk away now. Tell people you got cold feet. I'll set you up with a position at our London office. Double the pay. Fresh start overseas. My mind reeled. The Harlans had fingers in pies across the West, oil fields in Wyoming, tech hubs in California, even political ties in Sacramento. Why push me out now, when Horizon was on the verge of a breakthrough that could challenge their green energy monopoly? This is about the acquisition, isn't it? Your dad wants Horizon, and I'm in the way. Fear flickered in his eyes, not anger,
but raw,
animal fear. It's bigger than that. Just trust me. But trust shattered that night. After he left, slamming the door behind him, I stood by the window, watching the Golden Gate Bridge disappear into the mist. I wasn't running. Not from him. Not from anyone. Whatever secret he was guarding, it had just awakened something fierce in me, the grit of my Wyoming roots. The next morning, in my Horizon office with views of the bay, I stared at a photo from our engagement party, us on horseback, laughing under the California sun.
Now.
Doubt crept in. I'd ignored the whispers, how the Harlans played dirty in business, skirting environmental regs to dominate the market. A call came through. Emily, it's Harlan Sr. on line 1. My stomach nodded. Thomas Harlan, the patriarch. A man who'd built an empire from nothing but sheer will and questionable deals. Emily. Dear, his voice boomed, warm as a desert wind but edged with steel. Heard there was a dust-up last night. Jack's got a hot head sometimes. If threats are what you call a dust-up, then yes. A pause. Let's hash this out over lunch at the Bohemian Club. 1 p.m. sharp. It wasn't optional. I spent the morning digging through shared files, vacation plans, sweet notes, until I hit pay dirt, a draft memo titled Project Aurora Strategic Alliance. Encrypted, but metadata linked Harlan Energy to Horizon. My company, the one I'd poured my soul into, was their target. At the club, amid redwood panels and power brokers, Thomas cut into his steak with precision. You're sharp, Emily. That's why Jack picked you. But marriages like ours need alignment. And my work at Horizon doesn't align? He leaned back. We've got sensitive info on our operations, stuff that could get twisted by the EPA or FTC. We need assurances it stays buried during our merger talks. The puzzle snapped together. You want me to feed you intel? Betray my team? Not betrayal. Partnership. He slid over a prenup. Clauses buried in legalese. Access to my work devices. Non-disclosure on Harlan dealings. Refuse. And anonymous tips to regulators about Horizon's violations. Tips traced to me.
They'd framed me as the fall guy.
I left lunch seething. The California sun mocking my turmoil. They thought I was pliable, but they'd lit a fire. That evening, at the Harlan Ranch, I played the dutiful fiancée amid family dinner.
Victoria Harlan,
Elegant in her western chic, air-kissed me. The table buzzed with talk of land deals and politics. Then Victoria slipped, leaving her phone while stepping out for a call. In the spill of wine I accidentally caused, I swapped it with mine identical cases. A gift from her. Her device? A gold mine. Emails on leveraging me. Memos on fabricating evidence. And a draft to their lawyer. Confirm bug in engagement ring. Pull recordings for leverage. The ring, my beautiful sapphire, hit a tiny mic. They'd spied on every Horizon meeting. Every call. I switched phones back. Heart racing through dessert. Thomas pulled me aside later. Sign tomorrow. And this ends easy. I nodded, feigning defeat. Driving home through winding valley roads. I knew this wasn't just revenge. It was survival. Back in the loft, under the harsh glow of my desk lamp, I examined the ring with a magnifying glass I'd picked up from a jeweler in the city. The sapphire gleamed innocently, but a hairline seam revealed the truth, a micro-device nestled inside, capturing my every word for 6 months. Confidential Horizon strategies. Client talks, all fed to the Harlans. Rage boiled, but I snapped it shut. Destroy it now, and they'd know. Instead, I'd use it against them. I called my best friend, Lisa, knowing they listened. I'm second-guessing everything.
Lise.
The Harlans are overwhelming. Maybe I should just cave. You sure? That's not you. What choice do I have? They're untouchable. Hanging up. I dug deeper on my secure laptop. Jack had synced my work phone to his cloud for safety. Logging in with memorized creds, I found folders, not just my recordings, but ones on senators, judges, even rival CEOs. The Harlans weren't just greedy, they ran a surveillance network, blackmailing their way to power across the West. downloading it all to encrypted drives. My hands trembled. This was bigger than us. It touched environmental fraud, political bribes, land grabs displacing small ranchers.
My phone rang, Jack.
Heard you're ready to fold. Yeah, I sighed. Tears real, from fury. Your family always gets what they want. He showed up looking wrecked. Lines etched deeper in his face. I loved you at first.
Eminencia.
Before Dad looped me in post-proposal. So, it was all a setup? He gripped my hand, the ringed one. Sign and move on. Find someone without our poison. His regret seemed genuine. But too late. After he left, I pondered the ring's history. Had his grandmother known? Been trapped too? Sleep evaded me. Dawn broke over the bay as I plotted. I needed an ally outside their reach. Digging online carefully. On a VPN, I found Alex Rivera, a former investigative journalist from the LA Times, fired after probing Harlan land deals. His articles hinted at what I now held proof of. I reached out anonymously, arranging a meet at a quiet diner in Oakland. Alex looked weathered, like a man who'd stared down too many storms. Why trust a stranger? He asked over coffee. Because you've got nothing left to lose. Like me. I slid him a drive sample. His eyes widened. This is dynamite. They've bugged half the state's elite. We bonded over shared outrage. His marriage crumbled under Harlan pressure. My dreams teetered. Can't fight em in their courts, he said. Gotta expose from the shadows. We planned. He'd verify recordings, contact potential witnesses. I'd keep up appearances, feeding the ring misinformation. Why the ring? Alex pondered. They could have used Jack. They don't trust him fully. He's a pawn. Like me. As I left, Alex warned. At the party, if it goes south, leak it wide. I smiled. It won't. Back home, Jack texted. Mom wants seating tweaks tomorrow. Can't wait, I replied, meaning it. The Harlan ranch buzzed with prep for the engagement bash, tents on the lawns, lights strung like stars. I arrived early, to help, but really to strike. In Thomas's study, amid oak desks and photos with governors. He droned on prenup changes, added a $2 million bonus after 5 years. Distracted by my slideshow of us, horseback rides, valley sunsets, he didn't notice my phone cloning his devices via Bluetooth. A trick Alex coded.
Oh.
Senator Reyes's aide called, early exit for a vote. I dropped casually. Thomas tensed. Directly to you? Paranoia bloomed. Their control cracked. Victoria brought champagne. I spilled it on the papers, pocketing Thomas's burner phone in the mess. Clumsy me. Escaping, I passed Jack's old room. He stared at photos. Almost over, he murmured. Yes, I agreed. Handing Alex the haul in our rented van. Messages to judges. Offshore accounts tied to illegal fracking payoffs. This traces to Mexican cartels laundering through Harlan Green projects. Add it all. 12 hours to go. No turning back, Alex said. Good. They deserve the reckoning. The party shimmered under golden hour light. Guests in Western formal, boots with suits, dresses with turquoise jewels. Beside Jack on the dais. I smiled. Ring transmitting. Thomas toasted. To Jack and Emily's future. Screens lit with our photos. Then shifted Alex's hack. Emails. Audio of bribes. Bank trails. Murmurs turned to gasps. Victoria's voice. Leverage Emily or frame her for leaks. Chaos erupted. What the hell? Thomas bellowed. Screens showed Thomas accessing cartel funds. Discussing neutralizing me. I grabbed the mic. For months, they've spied via this ring. Evidence sent to FBI, EPA, DOJ. Streams live to news. Guests panicked, senators dialing lawyers, CEOs fleeing. FBI swarmed. Timed perfectly. Thomas Harlan. You're under arrest. Racketeering. Bribery.
Wire fraud.
Victoria shrieked. Jack froze, watching his world crumble. As agents cuffed Thomas and Victoria, the ranch transformed from paradise to crime scene. Flashbulbs popped. Media stormed the gates. I slipped the ring off, tossing it into the vineyard soil. You did it, Jack whispered, awe mixing with sorrow. I had to. For everyone they've hurt. He nodded, eyes distant. I should have fought sooner. Alex emerged. Outlets want your story. Give them everything. But as crowds swirled, a quieter resolve hit. This wasn't just takedown, it was a chance for healing. The Harlans had twisted family into a weapon, but maybe redemption waited. In the aftermath, I drove east through the Sierras, seeking solace in Tahoe's pines. My phone exploded. Offers from clean tech firms. Interviews. I ignored most. Focusing on Horizon, they promoted me to lead engineer. Grateful for dodging the merger bullet. But the human cost lingered. Victims reached out. Small ranchers bankrupted by Harlan land grabs. Whistleblowers silenced. Weeks later, back in San Francisco, I met Alex at a Bayside cafe. Pulitzer buzz, he grinned, but his eyes held shadows. You okay? Better. Therapy helps. You? I admitted the nightmares, reliving the betrayal. We exposed them. But what about the fallout? Thomas and Victoria faced trials, evidence mounted, including cartel ties that could mean life sentences. Jack cooperated, avoiding charges but losing everything. The ranch auctioned for restitution. Then Jack called. Can we talk? Neutral ground. We met at a park overlooking the ocean, waves crashing like unresolved emotions. He looked stripped bare. No boots. Just sneakers. I hate what we did to you. To everyone. Tears welled. Dad raised me to win at all costs. I saw the bugs. The schemes.
But
family loyalty blinded me. His vulnerability cracked my armor. Why not stop it?
Fear.
Of losing them. The life. But you showed me. Truth sets you free. Even if it hurts. We talked hours. His childhood under Thomas's iron fist. Victoria's manipulations. I want to make amends. He volunteered at land trusts, helping displaced families. It wasn't absolution, but a start. Forgive me? Not yet. But I see you're trying. Walking away. A weight lifted. Revenge evolved into understanding. Legally, things clarified. The FBI debriefed me. Wiretaps violated federal laws. Blackmail racketeering under RICO. Horizon sued for corporate espionage, winning settlements that funded community solar projects. I testified, detailing the ring's tech, a felony under California privacy statutes. The lesson simmered. Power corrupts when unchecked. But honesty rebuilds. Months passed. I threw myself into work, innovating affordable solar for rural West. Then Daniel Brooks entered, CEO of Apex Renewables, a rival the Harlans tried to crush. At a conference in Denver, he approached. Your exposure saved my company. Anonymous tips last year? I smiled coyly. Coincidence.
Tall.
With kind eyes and a Colorado drawl. He exuded integrity, no games. Just passion for sustainable energy. We bonded over hikes in the Rockies. Sharing stories. Lost my wife to cancer. Threw myself into work. But you remind me life's more than boardrooms. Unlike Jack.
No hidden agendas.
Our first date, stargazing in Wyoming. My old stomping grounds. You're resilient.
Emily.
That's rare. Emotions deepened, not drama, but steady warmth. Jack reached out again, starting a nonprofit for ethical business training. Inspired by you, I attended his launch, seeing genuine change. Victoria wrote from prison, apologies, therapy insights. Thomas resisted, but cracks showed in appeals. The wedding that wasn't fated. Instead, I planned a small gathering for friends, no rings. Just vows to self. But Daniel proposed differently, a simple band.
No secrets.
Build with me? Yes. With eyes open. As trials wrapped, a light lesson emerged. Families break under lies. But truth mends if we choose forgiveness over vengeance. The West taught me that vast lands heal scars. Given time, life post-scandal settled into a rhythm of renewal. At Apex, as Chief Innovation Officer, I led projects powering remote Western towns with solar grids, giving back to communities the Harlans exploited. Daniel and I balanced work with weekends at his cabin in Aspen, where snow-capped peaks mirrored our fresh start. No empires here, he'd say. Just us. But echoes lingered. A letter from Jack, teaching ethics at a community college in Montana. Finally free. His turnaround inspired. We met occasionally. Platonic. Discussing reform. You saved me.
Eminencia.
We saved each other by facing truths. Victoria's trial revealed depths, abused in youth. She mirrored patterns. Sentenced to 10 years. She pursued education inside, advocating for inmate reforms. Thomas got 15, but health declined. In letters, hints of regret. Pride blinded me. I visited once. Through glass. Why? To build legacy. But destroyed it instead. No full forgiveness. But understanding softened edges. Legally, clarity reigned. Surveillance violated Wiretap Act, blackmail, extortion statutes. Restitution funded victim funds. Ranchers reclaimed land. Horizon thrived, partnering with Apex ethically. Alex's book hit shelves, Empire of Shadows, crediting me. You humanized the fight, he said at signing. The story spread, sparking dialogues on corporate accountability in the West. Daniel and I married quietly on Wyoming plains, family, friends.
No fanfare.
Vows, honesty, support. Through storms and sun, he promised. Honeymoon, road trip through canyons, reflecting on journeys. Years on, our daughter asked about the scar, metaphor for past. Sometimes families err, but love corrects. Light lesson, empathy tempers justice, redemption possible when we choose growth over grudges. The Harlan name faded, but lessons endured. In vast West, truth illuminates paths to healing. Reflecting back, it started with a threat in fog-shrouded San Francisco, unraveling to sunlit redemption across the West. Emily Haysbrooks now. Stand on our porch in Colorado, watching our kids play amid aspens. Daniel joins. Arm around me. Regrets?
None.
It led here. Jack visits yearly, his nonprofit thrives, mentoring youth against corruption. Your courage sparked mine.
Victoria.
Paroled. Works in re-entry programs. Thomas passed last year, his final letter. Forgive an old fool. I did.
For peace.
The scandal birthed reforms, stricter privacy laws in California, EPA oversight on energy firms. Horizon and Apex lead ethical tech, powering sustainable futures. In quiet moments, I ponder the ring buried. but its lesson unearthed. Secrets erode foundations, but vulnerability builds stronger ones. The West's wild beauty reminds, storms pass, leaving clearer skies. Our story, not revenge's blaze, but healing's gentle dawn, a humane path where justice meets mercy, teaching that even broken families can mend if we extend a hand instead of a fist.